Okay, is everyone ready for this one here today? I absolutely love the trade of TIG welding so much, but let me tell you something. I have absolutely had it and I am sick of something no matter how much research I do for an episode on my show here, or how much I have tried, practiced, and used the techniques that I show. It never fails that I read something in the comments telling me that what I'm talking about is wrong. So whether or not you agree with me about the tips and stuff I usually show on my show here, today I can absolutely guarantee you that everything that I talk about here is 100% without a doubt going to make me a terrible welder. All right, so let's get into tip number one. Okay, right on, this nice torch that every machine comes with. Let's make sure that this thing absolutely cannot do its job properly. Let's pull this clean tungsten right out of the torch here. And we're gonna replace it with this piece of garbage, yeah! How about this clean gas screen or this diffuser or whatever I'm using here? Get that stuff out of here. Let's find something like this. Yeah, perfect, this thing is disgusting. Tons of spatter and contamination inside of it. This is gonna be perfect. A gas lens like this that looks like complete crap. Let's install this into my torch right away. I always talk about having a clean screen and a good setup like this. It's always going to give you a perfect supply of gas when you're welding. This is going to cover your welding area perfectly and prevent oxidization. But today, we don't want any of that here today. Using something like this is probably going to cause your gas to come out lopsided, creating all kinds of gas turbulence. Perfect. Look at this stupid tungsten here. When I use something like this is going to get me a clean startup every time I arc up. This is going to help to minimize arc deflection and keep my puddle stable. Get this thing out of my face. Now this is what I'm talking about here. This thing is gonna cause all kinds of arc deflection. Look at this other yucky one again. See how when you start up, it is controlled and establishes quickly? Forget that one, give me this other one. I want my arc flickering everywhere and not even knowing what the heck it's doing. And especially welding at low amperage, I definitely want the worst accuracy I can get. This thing here is going to be perfect. The arc is going to be firing left and right all over the place. So when I'm setting up my torch for TIG welding, the more contamination, the more spatter, or whatever other gross stuff I can find for my gear, this is going to help to get me the best results with the absolute most terrible looking welds. And that arc is going to have no clue where it's going. This is absolutely what I want in my torch to be a terrible welder. All right, if you thought that tip was amazing for being a terrible welder, check out tip number 2 here. Okay, so let's turn to my machine here and have a look. You can see I am using the Everlast 255 EXT. I love this machine and it has a ton of options on it to keep your welding looking nice. Now, when I set up today to weld out a project here, so many people talk about the different settings that I should use. So when it comes to dialing in your settings, let's for sure pay attention to all the people on the internet. This is gonna be awesome. Now, usually when I'm setting up, I set this machine up perfectly with the perfect amount of frequency and balance for whatever job I'm doing specifically. But some guy in a welding forum says, don't do that. So let's throw these settings right out the window and listen to that guy. The reason that there are so many options to fine tune what you're doing on these machines is so I can set up specifically for all the small details of all kinds of different jobs that I'm gonna be welding on. But let's for sure forget what we're doing here and listen to some person on the internet, set up a machine for whatever that dude says, and let's get going. Now, I talk about all different types of joint configurations that I do all the time on my show here. How when I'm welding out a project, I always make slight adjustments, even multiple times during a weld out procedure, just for different joint configurations and different plate material, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes when welding on an exercise like this, I'll switch my frequency, I'll switch my balance, and all kinds of other small settings multiple times because I want to make sure usually that I get the best results. But who has time for all that? Forget that crap. Somebody giving me advice without even knowing what it is I'm working on? I'm gonna forget what I usually do. I'm gonna listen to that. Is this person using a completely different machine than me? A completely different setup in the torch maybe? Perfect. We all know that every type of machine welds slightly differently from one to another. Even for two machines that are the exact same brand and model, the same settings can be slightly different for each one. Like I usually say on my show, if you want the best results of something that you're working on, experimenting with your own machine, your own setup that you use, this is how you're gonna find what works best for whatever it is that you're working on. This is gonna help to get you some really clean and consistent results. But today, definitely, I'm not doing any of that. I'm gonna dial my machine in for what some random stranger is telling me, and weld on. I want my stuff to turn out terrible. Yes, yes. Someone riding a weed whacker up the street? Okay, so now, if you are a beginner, this tip, or anybody else that's just starting out with TIG, this is the #1 way that somebody can ensure they get a terrible start with TIG welding. You ready for this one? And this is to make sure that we attempt the most difficult joints right away. Welding relatively thin outside corner joints. Let's go, baby. Setting up for a fillet weld configuration? I'm not even thinking about it. Send it. How about some intricate coped pipe, perhaps? The less practice, the better. Starting out, jumping into the deep end of difficulty right away with these joints. This is gonna ensure I get some terrible welding done. Now, with every student in my online TIG welding program and the hundreds or whatever, how many people watch my YouTube episodes every week for free, you've heard me all the time talk about starting out trying to learn smart, working with exercises like this to teach you and help you understand the fundamentals and make sure that we can eliminate any bad habits along the way. But screw all that, boring. The stuff that I saw on Instagram looked way more fun. I'm absolutely gonna start with that stuff. I'm gonna have no clue of any of the fundamentals that I'm looking for when I start learning. So that tip is gonna be perfect. Now, if you actually wanna hear some good advice that I do teach my students, this episode is for you. This one goes over some of the most in-depth advice that I give TIG welding. This will help people get to a whole nother level with TIG welding. But today, because we are looking to get some terrible welds done, be sure not to watch that episode next. Go out today, do a random act of kindness. I hope this episode made you laugh. My name is Dusty. Feel and chill. We'll talk soon. Peace.